Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Avatar: The Legend of Korra, Season 2, Episode 4. Yes, last time we got a civil war, and I think it's basically that. And I am on the side of the Southern Water Tribe. Because so far everything that this spiritual leader of the North has done is to conquer, is to tread, is to pretend that he wants to unite both nations under one, but with conquest, not with diplomacy, not with union, something else. No, it's just with that power overpowering their tribe, which is obviously he was prepared for war, he was prepared for this, and that's why the Southern Pole is not as strong. Yes, they helped rebuild this place, but they don't have the military might that the North Pole has. So yes, it makes sense for the South to be so unprepared, because they will never expect an attack from the north. They will never ever expect something like that. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes complete sense that they do not expect that. And that the conquest was relatively easy, the initial attack, let's say, without much violence. But obviously the people is not going to accept that, yes, somebody, even if it's from another water tribe, just come and impose their way of living as well as they were nothing. So yeah, I understand completely this revolution, and the blindness of the northern tribe boss is just there, is just so evident. So honestly, I am on the southern side in this case. But anyway, yes, let's not dwell too much into this presentation. Let me just quickly remind you that if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notification. Check if you're still subscribed, because yeah, YouTube does some bullshit like that. And obviously leave a comment and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. In my in my description there is my Twitter, my Patreon, and obviously their reaction, because YouTube doesn't like that. So anyway, without further ado, let's cut the presentation short and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the fourth episode of the second season. And yes, my rant that I have in the end of the last week's episode about not liking Korra, is it still not that I like her so much, but I'm starting at least to respect her a little bit more. Perhaps I was so infuriated with her because of the obvious plot of the uncle for, to deceive her, to saying, oh yes, your father is a traitor, I just want to unite the tribes, I just want this. That is my guess. That's my guess. It was so obvious for me that I was so irritated with her by being so blind. And that's perhaps my rant. I exploded last week because yeah, I couldn't stand anymore. My god, how can you not see the betrayal? Even if I say it myself, oh, but I have the advantage of the perspective of an outsider and the perspective of an adult. And while Korra is that, yeah, I think it's still in a subconscious level, I still feel that Korra was way too dumb because she didn't realize how her uncle was playing her like a film. So yes, perhaps is that, and perhaps that respect is returning because now finally Korra figured it out that yes, his uncle is a piece of shit and that he deserved no confidence at all. Because yes, that doesn't mean I like Korra and she's my favorite of the favorites characters of them all. No, she's still pretty low in my likability. My top 3 hasn't changed so far, even if we didn't have a Lin in this series so far. Well, in this second season so far we haven't seen her, but I still like her. Thanks to what she did in the last season, I like her way too much. I like Balin, and well, yeah, my favorite characters are still there. That's what I meant to say. Now, moving on forward with what I was about to say. Yes, this episode is basically the confirmation of who is the villain of the series, of this second season. Is Chief Unalaq. Uh, his manipulations were way too obvious, and I think that's what they wanted. I think the show creators wanted to do that by portraying him as the most novel, as the one that always supporting Korra, and especially by the conflict at the beginning. I never bought that. I never ever bought that. I always thought that the uncle was very suspicious, and with every episode, that suspicious grew and grew and grew until this moment in which he doesn't care anymore. He already used Korra, and he already has everything he wanted from Korra. So yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I can give you my evil plan now because yeah, I don't care about you anymore. And my guess, he now openly can cross from the north to the south without the need of boats or ships in this case, thanks to the portal that was open. So yes, it makes sense for them to be like that he doesn't care anymore. I guess he will like to have Korra on his side because she is the avatar, but if she is not on his side, I don't think he cares that much by the end. So yes, it's his plan is in fruition, and I don't know what is going to be going on next. I guess we're going to see the kind of the rebel, but we are going to return to Republic City to witness this, and I don't think the president is going to be so open and say, "Oh yes, I'm going to send troops immediately." I don't think he has that type of power, and my guess we're going to see a few episodes in which they're trying to convince this president so they can send troops, and I don't know. Perhaps they don't want to raise another global conflict like what happened with the Fire Nation and all of that. I don't know. I am still not certain of anything, and I don't know where the plot is going. Well, I guess it's going to the part in which they are going to release the South Pole from the clutches of these of Unalaq. So that's my guess. That's where the plot is going. But I don't know what are going to be the conflicts between that point and in the point we are right now. And that is the interesting part of the show, that I do not know the middle part. Because yes, with a lot of series you can deduce from the beginning. It's rare when a series surprises you by the end, and it's a good surprise. I mean, because yeah, I'm sorry to bring the Disney Star Wars again, because it sucks, especially The Last Jedi. The ending sucked. Even if it was a surprise, that doesn't mean it was a good surprise. So there are few shows, there are few pieces of literature that really can give you that surprise ending and being a good ending. And honestly, I cannot think of any right now. My mind is going, I don't know, it's not going that place. So if you know one, please let me know. But yes, you know the end. Korra is going to win. Korra is going to stop his uncle. But the important part is how. What are the events that are going to lead to that point? Again, you might know, oh, the good guys are going to win. There is no tension. There is obviously that in the back of your mind. But if you make it so obvious, it's going to take away that. It's going to take away the moment in which, oh yes, but they are overpowered. Obviously, they are not good. They are not going to be defeated. But when you make your heroes struggle, say, oh, what is going to happen? How they are going to resolve this? Even if in the back of your mind you know, oh, they are going to win. But if they make you struggle, or if they make the hero struggle, yeah, you're going to be wanting to see what is going on. So yes, we know the end. We know how this is going to end. But the exciting part is to see how the travel is going to be, and that is the important part, in my opinion. And I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know which conflicts we're going to see. I don't know, and that is the important part. Now that I spoke about the main plot, and obviously the funny side of it is how these guys they use with a platypus bear and all of that, how they literally threaten a judge to reveal the terrible secrets of this asshole. yeah, this is interesting, but I'm not going to repeat all of that. But now we're going to see another part of, at least I think it's important. The reflection of the two siblings, the two groups of siblings that we saw in the air temple, the young ones and the old ones. And it's very similar. All of them are very similar. You will end up in conflict with your siblings. I don't know because I don't have siblings, so I'm an only child, so I don't have brothers or sisters to compare. But my guess is that I love my cousin, so perhaps she's the closest thing I could come up with. I love them, but obviously we enter in conflict from time to time. But we love each other so much that we can forgive each other. So yes, I understand that part, and I love that resolution they gave to this little conflict that we have from the last episode. That yes, they can be annoying. Yes, you can get mad at them. That is completely normal. But in the end, if you really love them and if what they did is not that's terrible, like just making fun of you or something not so terrible, yeah, you can forgive them. You will forgive them because you love them. There is love in there. When you take away the moment of love, yeah, that's when everything is going to shit. Like when you confront a very abusive family or something like that, yeah, I understand that part. But this is not the case. This is just silly, stupid stuff that kids do. So yeah, it's forgivable. I like that aspect, and I like how both generations kind of encounter this moment at their own pace. And the wisdom of a child was the point, the catalyst of this self-reflection in Tencent. So yes, I like that. Now, to a more silly part of the episode. Silly, but I still found it terrible. Dagna? No, Dagna is, I think, a member of the Inquisition. Oh, God. Well, the terrible waterbender, the daughter of the chief. Yeah, I'm sorry, that bitch. I hate her character. I know the show is portraying this as comic relief. I know you should laugh at this because it's so silly and all that. But Balin is one of my favorite characters, and I hate to see him like that. He needs to stand up for himself. He needs to literally grow a pair, or make the fucking Reddit make him grow a pair. And say, so you know what? It's enough. I am not your servant, I'm your boyfriend, and I'm tired of this shit, and I don't want to be your boyfriend anymore because you behave like a bitch all the time. So screw you. Because that is what I want Balin to say to this bitch. I honestly hate that bitch. Again, I know it's comic relief, but I cannot stand this treatment of one of my favorite characters. Yes, I understand a little bit of comic relief. I got that with Sokka too. He was a comic relief, but he has his important moments. But it never reached a point in which the rest of the crew, or one of the crew, was emotionally abusive of him. It never crossed to that point. He learned his lessons when he was a fucking chauvinistic asshole, because he was at the beginning. Sokka was like that. But he learned his lesson and he grew. Even if we treat him as a comic relief, we knew that he grew. We knew that he was not just the comic relief, and in this second season, that is the only thing I'm seeing of Balin, and I don't like it, and that's why I detest this woman, because she's abusing one of my favorite characters, a character that doesn't deserve said abuse. Yes, he's kind of thirsty, but come on, it's not to that point. He is respectful. Once you say, no, I don't want you, he said, okay, sure, fine. I'm gonna respect that. So, I don't know why they are abusing this poor fellow. And I detest to see this abuse. And that is something I don't like. I may laughed, but I'm starting to laugh less and less with every moment. And even in the end, when she's so desperate because he ran away, I mean, come on. Let this boy be free. And I don't like that aspect of the story. I detest that aspect of the story. Especially in the second view. In the second view, honestly, I hated her more and more and more. So yes, hopefully it's going to be over. I don't know if they are going to change her character. I don't know if they are going to make her grow. But hopefully she's going to vanish in a certain point because I fucking hate her, man. I don't like her. She is the classic example of a very toxic girlfriend. Extremely toxic. I honestly dislike her so much because of the abuse of one of my favorite characters. I honestly detest her. Oh boy. Okay, after that rant, I don't think I have anything else to say. So the only thing I have to say is, well, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications. You know YouTube is kind of weird. Sometimes they unsubscribe by mistake. Let's say by mistake. I don't think this is on purpose. But yeah, check if you're still subscribed. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, the episode, or the commentary. If you agree, if you disagree, all of that jazz. And remember, in the description we have the Twitter, if you want to follow me, there it is the link, the Patreon, in which you can find the uncut reaction of this episode and a lot more, and of course the link to the reaction, but obviously if you are here, you already knew that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and I have nothing else to say, but thank you for your attention, and well, see you on the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.